Hey, it worked.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're together once again,
Yeah.
and we have a very special video here. That's about 6 months in the making that we've been working on.
Yeah, it's been a little project we've been working on since probably... Well, you've been working on it since October.
Yeah, I told you about it in November.
Uh-huh.
I had this idea back in October. I was originally just going to do it myself. Not even tell him, and not even do a video. Just something fun I want to do.
Uh-huh.
But then I ended up telling you about it when you came over for a SmackDown before Survivor Series.
That was your mistake.
Yeah. And we decided to just work on this together and turn it into a video. We have our all-time fantasy WrestleMania match card. If you remember my Elimination Chamber review, I teased this in there where when I was reviewing Trish and Tiffany versus Nia Jax and Candice, I said I barely watched the match because all we did during that match was talk about this.
Yeah.
So, but the rules I had set for myself originally that we ended up sticking with for this were that we could use anybody that we wanted, but they have to have competed in at least one WrestleMania match.
And luckily there was something I found with all of them.
Yes. So, for example, we could not pick, say, like Braun Breaker, because though it looks like he'll be having a match this year at Mania 41, at the time of filming, he has not yet had a WrestleMania match. So we could not pick him. We could pick people outside of WWE, like Jon Moxley or Chris Jericho, because they did compete at WrestleMania.
I'm just double checking the list so everyone has wrestled at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
We have 20 matches that we came up with because it was hard to narrow it down to like 12 to do like 6 per night. So we thought, why not? We have 20 matches, 10 matches each night. We have storylines for each match. And we have the winners picked for each match as well.
Ooh, yeah.
So this video could take a while.
Yeah. So buckle in, people. Let's do this.
Grab some popcorn, grab some chicken wings, grab a Dr. Pepper, preferably the strawberries and cream one because that's the best one. Too bad we don't have that because this loser doesn't buy it.
They didn't have it at the store. What do you want from me?
And let's get right into this.
Opening match.
Opening match of night 1.
Because this is 2 nights.
Night 1.
And yes, the night 1 main event is a main event of WrestleMania.
Yes.
That's a WrestleMania we need to do as well.
Sure. We have a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Who's the champion going in?
Didn't we agree on Gunther?
Yes. It is Gunther defending
Against Sami Zayn, Christian, Shelton Benjamin, Rick Rude, Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, Mr. Perfect, Chris Jericho, and Ricky Steamboat.
So, here's the thing. We originally had The Miz in here.
Yeah, and then we realized that we didn't have Cody Rhodes anywhere on our match card. Which, I wanted to say that at the beginning, too. There's a lot of big names that we left out of this card. Ric Flair is not on our card. The Ultimate Warrior is not on our card.
Batista.
Kane. There's a lot of big names.
Big Show.
Big Show. Yeah, a lot of big names that are not on our match card. So,
We wanted a nice blend of older, newer guys. Anywhere in the middle.
But yeah, so we originally had The Miz in here, but because we really wanted Cody Rhodes so bad.
And I made the argument that Cody's a better IC champ than The Miz.
We replaced The Miz with Cody Rhodes.
Though we did put The Miz in a qualifying match.
Yeah.
One of the rules for a lot of these matches is former champions.
Yeah, so for this match, the ladder match, we chose all former IC champs to be in the match.
And the qualifying matches.
The qualifying matches, all these winners also fought different IC champs as well. We actually fantasy booked the qualifying matches too. We had Mr. Perfect defeat Owen Hart. We had Chris Jericho defeat Jeff Jarrett. We had Shelton Benjamin defeat RVD. We had Ricky Steamboat defeat Ric Flair. We had Christian defeat Bad News Barrett, specifically Bad News Barrett. We had Sami Zayn defeat, obviously, Kevin Owens. We had Dolph Ziggler defeat Kofi Kingston. We had Cody Rhodes defeat The Miz.
And then Gunther retained his title.
We have Rick Rude defeating The Ultimate Warrior and Gunther defeating Pedro Morales. Those were the qualifying matches, and now there's a cat in my way.
Hey, buddy.
Ernest the Cat Miller.
Yeah, I should have named him that shit. But yeah, this match, just a car crash. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of insane ladder spots.
Now,
like every ladder match is.
Who did we pick? Okay, so the final two, mainly the two favorites going in, were Cody and Gunther. They were the favorites going in. That's kind of what we decided on. However, we picked neither to win.
No.
Who did we pick to win?
Christian.
We felt like Christian deserved it.
Yep.
Christian doesn't get a lot of big moments.
No, he does not. And I feel like this would be that final nail in the coffin, like Christian's like WrestleMania moment. Because other than Mania, Christian's never really had a WrestleMania moment as a singles guy. And this would be that moment for him.
Yeah.
So
we picked Christian to win the Intercontinental title.
Yes.
Next, the Women's United States Championship match.
Okay, here. We have Io Sky walking in as the Women's United States Champion, defending in a fatal four-way against Bianca Belair, Mickie James, and Asuka. The storyline, we had a qualifying match between Bianca Belair and Mickie James. Asuka, out of nowhere, returns from injury. In that match, causes a double DQ, which then leads to this fatal four-way match. And we have Io Sky winning and retaining the United States title.
Mm-hmm. And I just think Io kind of needs it, but like... But yeah.
Not needs it, but...
I could hear the argument for Asuka winning, but I chose Io because I think... I don't know. I just wanted Io to win, I guess.
Yeah. Io's growing on me a lot, and I feel like her winning would just be awesome.
Next, the WWE Tag Team title match. So we're talking about the ones on SmackDown right now.
Yep. Los Guerreros, Eddie Guerrero and Chavo,
defending
against the Mysterios.
Now,
Ray and
we know what you're thinking. Isn't Dom a heel? Yes. But
here's what we had planned. Eddie and Dom are actually win the tag titles together. Eddie, at one point, eventually turns on Dom.
calls him a disappointment.
Yes. Chavo Guerrero just randomly shows up, and because Eddie turned on Dom, Eddie no longer wants Dom to be his partner, just gives Chavo Dom's belt, and Eddie and Chavo are the tag champs. Because Dom wants revenge on Eddie, he's like, I don't want to, really don't want to team with my dad, but like he's like the only man I have here that knows what it's like to face Eddie, that can help me overcome this.
But he does it begrudgingly.
Yeah,
very much.
He doesn't want to, but he feels like he has to.
Friction during the entire match too.
There is.
And Eddie and Chavo try to use that to their advantage.
Yes.
But then we end up picking the Mysterios to win the WWE Tag Team titles against Los Guerreros.
Yep.
They'll probably lose it the next pay-per-view, but that's fine.
Probably. Yeah, the Mysterios win that match. Up next, match 4 on night 1. This could possibly be
match of the show, match of at least night 1, maybe.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, versus
The American
Daniel
Dragon.
Bryan. This match would be so awesome.
We picked it because we didn't really have... I'm not saying we didn't really have any other options for either guy, but...
Oh, I could have come up with a lot of options for Shawn.
Yeah. But this one makes sense for Bryan.
It does.
Bryan...
The storyline, trainer versus trainee. For those that don't know, Daniel Bryan was trained by Shawn Michaels. Back in the late 90s when Shawn Michaels had retired the first time, he opened up his own training school. It was only open for a couple of years. Daniel Bryan was a member of that class that Shawn had trained. So Daniel Bryan was trained by Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm. Also, Daniel Bryan is probably the greatest technical wrestler of all time. And he always...
For sure one of them anyway.
And he always puts on great matches.
Yes.
Almost always. And is a great underdog. But Shawn is Mr. WrestleMania.
Oh, definitely.
So, who did we pick to win this?
We chose Daniel Bryan.
We think Daniel Bryan should go over here. It would be a close match.
Because the story was trainer versus trainee. Can the trainee prove that he's better than the man that trained him? He does prove it. Daniel Bryan wins. I could see this being like a long, 30-minute, just instant
I could see it going
classic.
2025.
Just a long, just instant classic that people will talk about forever and ever. Mm-hmm. Just like most of Shawn Michaels' matches at WrestleMania.
And D-Bry.
Yeah. Up next, the women's tag team titles. We have the role models, Sasha Banks and Bayley, walking in as champions, defending against Trish Stratus and Lita.
Mm-hmm.
The story, the role models are the tag champs. They've beat every women's tag team that there is to beat. Trish and Lita return out of nowhere, and they're like, you have not beaten every tag team there is to beat because you've never beat us. And we challenge you for a match for the tag titles at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Trish and Lita and Bayley and Sasha Banks are two sides of the same coin for their careers, basically. Their
pretty much
careers basically match each other if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because Bayley and Sasha feuded for so long. So did Lita and Trish.
Mm-hmm.
Those two sides coming together, and people compare them a lot.
Oh, definitely.
To be fair. So who would win? And it maybe actually make the tag titles mean something for once.
We actually have Trish and Lita winning.
Mm-hmm. We think it would be so poetic for them to win the tag titles together.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Ooh.
Another match that could possibly be not only match of night one, but the best match of the entire card. Between
This would be my
nights.
favorite match.
Probably.
A submission match between Bret Hart and Kurt Angle. Peak Angle.
This would be so awesome.
Unbelievably good. The fact that we never got this match is wild to me.
It's nuts. The storyline, Angle is just on a dominant winning streak. He defeats everybody that there is for him to defeat. He doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. So he's like, you know what? We'll just call out who I feel is the greatest of all time. The best there is, the best there was, the best that there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart. If he accepts it, great. If he turns it down, okay, fine. I'll find something else. Luckily, Bret Hart accepts the challenge. We get the match. Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, submission.
The battle of the submission guys in WWE, I must stress.
Yes.
It would be glorious. It would probably make me cry.
Oh, probably.
I would be so emotionally invested. These guys would just have counter after counter. The beginning would be like just think of how Shawn and Angle started from Mania 21, just the technical side of it. Then they just start working each other slowly over time, just building it up. And then they just keep trying to get the ankle lock or the sharpshooter or all that kind of stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Angle puts in a moonsault and all that. They just have just one of the best matches of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, this one I could also see going pretty long. 30 minutes.
That I could see going 30 minutes.
Yeah.
These two would not give up. But we ended up picking Brett to win. Making Kurt Angle of all people tap out to the sharpshooter. Brett wins.
Yep. Proves that he really is the
best there is, the best there was,
and the best that there ever will be. Up next, match number 7 on night 1. We actually have a mixed tag team match. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Rowdy Piper
and Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
This all starts. CM Punk and Roddy Piper are in the Elimination Chamber match that we will talk about later on.
Do we have all the participants for
yes.
Chamber and then perfect?
So it starts in the Elimination Chamber. The Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber, there's an episode of Piper's Pit. CM Punk is a special guest on Piper's Pit. Both men are just talking. They're going about their conversation. Their
shit talking.
Shit talking, yeah.
Not.
Out of nowhere, for whatever reason, AJ Lee attacks Roddy Piper.
And they just start laying into him.
Yeah, and they're just beating him up, just destroying him. The next week, the same thing is about to happen, and it starts to happen.
And then Bad Reputation starts playing. Yep. Ronda Rousey comes down, just starts attacking AJ Lee, does that really shitty finisher on AJ.
Yeah, the thing.
And then Piper, what was Piper's finisher? Sleeper hold?
Yeah, the sleeper hold.
Just knocks out Punk. They stand tall. That's the match for Mania.
Yep.
However, we actually have Punk and AJ going over. We need some bad guys to win.
Yeah.
We have another one later. I know you'll know what I'm talking about. That people are going to be shocked about. But yeah, we think Punk and AJ are going to steal this win from the good guys. And it would just, I think it'd be a pretty good match. It'd be interesting to see. I know Piper and Punk would just have a great match in general.
Oh, definitely.
But it'd be really interesting to see Ronda Rousey and AJ Lee have a kind of match.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
And I think that's kind of how this started, because wasn't that originally the one-on-one match that we had planned?
Yeah, and they were like, oh, wait, what about Punk and Piper?
Yeah, because we didn't have Piper on the card at all. And then we felt like we needed him, so we're like, how about this? Mixed tag, Punk, AJ versus Piper and Ronda. So that's what we went with. Up next, match number 8 of night 1.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar versus Andre the Giant. Just imagine this match right here. Like, close your eyes and just picture it in your head. Picture Brock Lesnar and Andre the Giant.
I don't know if it'd be good, but I don't care.
No. Just seeing them two in the ring together, that's just a sight to behold.
Brock is the most crazy athlete WWE's ever seen.
Oh, definitely.
It's insane. And this would be like Cowboy Brock.
Brock is capable of doing things physically that people his size should not be able to do. And he's in there with Andre, one of the biggest superstars in the history of professional wrestling.
He's the immovable object.
Yeah.
The 8th wonder of the world. But this is Brock Lesnar we're talking about here.
Yep.
The main, crux of this match is, because Brock can probably suplex Andre. It hurt like a bitch, but he can do it. Can Brock hit the F5?
Yeah. He's beaten everybody. Can he beat Andre?
And he does.
He somehow manages to find a way to do it. The match isn't that long either. It's maybe
5 minutes.
yeah,
It's
5,
only-
maybe 6 at the most. Like it's not that long at all.
Yeah.
Maybe the shortest match across both nights even. Like, and we do have Brock pulling out the victory.
Just barely
Yeah,
hitting the
like-
F5.
And Andre, like, kicks out, like, a split second after the 3 count. Like, you can tell, like, he's trying to kick out, but it's a split second too late. Brock wins. So,
Oh my god. I just thought of something that could help. Andre's with not Heyman. Heenan. And then
Brock is with Paul Heyman.
dude, the promo battles between those two alone
Yeah.
would go hard.
That would be
so
great.
hard. My client.
Up
Next,
The
a match that I'm super excited.
yes.
I would see
The semi-main event.
for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, so the world title is not main eventing night 1. We will explain why later. But we have the World Heavyweight Champion,
Probably
Edge.
the best World Heavyweight Champion.
Edge. I'm now wearing my Edge hat now, but Edge.
Taking on the Royal Rumble winner.
No, the Elimination
Right,
Chamber
who won
winner.
the Chamber.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Just think about that for a sec. Edge, the ultimate opportunist, but who is very similar to him in that regard?
Roddy Piper.
No,
Or Randy
Randy
Savage,
Savage.
I meant. So, the 6 men in the Elimination Chamber match are Randy Savage, CM Punk, Roddy Piper, that's where that match starts, Randy Orton, The Rock, and Drew McIntyre. Macho Man somehow overcomes all 5 other men, wins the match, and chooses to face Edge because the winner of the Royal Rumble, which we will talk about on night 2, chooses to face the WWE champion. And we actually have Edge winning and retaining the World Heavyweight title.
By the
here.
skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
Just barely. Just. Does he do it in like the most cheap fucking way possible? Yes. Do you think he cares?
No.
No, because both of them would do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you know this match would be fucking great because Savage would have it planned out all beforehand.
definitely.
Because that's how we did all of his matches.
Yep.
Why do you think all his matches were good? Yeah, we have Edge retaining
We do.
the World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Now,
The main event,
of night 1.
and the reason it's the main event is because
Look at the names involved.
the names involved, but also it's maybe the best storyline,
We had it written down.
yes, throughout the entire fantasy card. I didn't write the storyline down because it's all up here.
Okay.
I promise you, it's all up here.
It is.
The NWO,
Versus the Shield.
for the first time ever, a trios match is main eventing WrestleMania.
I love how I got you to say trios match now.
Yeah, you got me into saying that. For the first time ever, a trios match is main eventing WrestleMania. NWO versus The Shield. This all starts in the Royal Rumble match. The final 4 are Hulk Hogan, Roman
Drew.
Reigns, John Cena. Spoiler, he wins. And just a random ass 4th person.
Drew.
Sure, we can go Drew.
Drew.
The 4th person doesn't really matter.
It could.
It could, but it doesn't in this
In this
scenario.
match. We'll get to there.
Eventually, at some point, Hogan turns, or not Hogan, Roman Reigns eliminates Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is mad. He then pulls Roman over the top rope by his arm.
Like
and
the
Roman
92 Rumble?
Yeah, just falls over the rope.
And then Drew eliminates him.
Yeah. Hogan and Roman are just beating each other up all the way up the ramp and going back to Gorilla. The following night on Raw, Hulk Hogan comes out to cut a promo, calling out Roman Reigns because he's mad.
Is this Tribal Chief, Seth freaking Rollins, and John Moxley?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Hogan calls out Roman Reigns. Roman comes out. They start brawling. Out of nowhere, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall come out. They're on Hogan's side, and it's just a 3-on-1 attack. And it's that way for like 2 weeks. Every Raw for 2 weeks, it's just a 3-on-1 attack. Roman needs help. The Usos are busy with a different match that we have on the card, so the Usos can't help him. We didn't even put Solo Sikoa on the card. Sammy's busy doing something else, so Roman doesn't have his bloodline. So where does he go from here? Calls up his former Shield brother, Seth. Yo, Seth, I need your help. Next week on Raw, the same beatdown thing happens. Seth comes out, starts to help with Roman Reigns. Begrudgingly, but he understands the situation Roman is in.
Then again, Seth Rollins is the pettiest.
Yeah. Plus, in our fantasy world, Seth had just lost the title to Razor Ramon like 6 months earlier at Survivor Series. So they had a little mini feud there for a while.
And Scott Hall, Kevin Nash took out Rollins.
Yes. So it becomes a 2-on-3, but because NWO still has 3, that Rollins and Reigns still can't overcome the NWO just yet. They need a third member. And all the fans, they know who that third member has to be. It's just one problem. That third member is not in WWE right now.
So, WWE...
So, Roman goes to Triple H and he's like, dude, we need this. We need him here. He's the only man that can help us in this scenario.
Give Tony whatever.
Yeah, Triple H is like, I don't know if I can do that. But Seth and Roman are like, dude, do whatever you can. Give him all the money he wants. Make him the richest man in the world. I don't care. Do what you can to get him here. We need him. Triple H is like, I'll see what I can do. The Raw before WrestleMania. The go-home Raw. It's the same thing we've seen for weeks. A 3-on-2 beatdown. Roman and Seth are getting the daylight speed out of them by the NWO. Out of nowhere. We don't hear Dean Ambrose's music.
We hear John Moxley's
We hear
music.
John Moxley's music.
And they refer to him as John Moxley.
Yes, because that was part of the deal Tony Khan had made. Tony Khan said, you can use him, but he has to be John Moxley in this scenario. Triple H agrees. John Moxley comes out, makes the save, starts beating up on Kevin Nash, starts beating up on Scott Hall, hits
The paradigm shift.
paradigm shift on Hulk Hogan, helps Seth up, helps Roman up. It's just a 3-way stare-down battle. They do the fists. The Shield reunites.
And they come out to the Shield music, right?
Yes.
Or do they come out to their individual things?
Because it's John Moxley, I feel like it should be the 3 individuals. So, like, it's the Shield, but they're not referring to themselves as the Shield. It's just 3 singles guys. The match happens, main event of night 1. And we have the Shield picking up the victory.
Specifically, Roman Reigns
Seth Rollins.
and John Moxley hitting the hitting all their finishes and the triple power bomb. Roman pins Hogan.
Yes.
And yes, I would have Hulk Hogan get pinned on purpose because I don't like that.
But, yeah, the best, most drawn-out story is the reason why this is main evented.
Also, it's Hulk Hogan
Yes.
and
Hulk
Roman
Hogan and... Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They both are tied for the most main events of all time.
as of filming.
Yes.
Now it's not going to be anymore.
No, but at the time of filming this, yes. So I didn't even think about that part of it. But yeah, we have the Shield winning the main event of night 1.
Night 2 starts.
Night 2, we open with a tag team turmoil match for the World Tag Team title.
The champions,
Who did we have as the champs going in?
Hardy Boys.
Oh yeah, Hardy Boys. And the other 6 teams, we have the Hardy Boys, the Street Profits, Demolition, the Dudley Boys, the Usos, the New Day, and the Road Warriors. We started, so we had qualifying matches as well, just like we did for the IC title ladder match. These were triple threat tag team matches. We had the Usos defeat 3 Minute Warning and the Wild Samoans.
On purpose.
Yes.
A little family thing.
We have the Dudley Boys defeating the Steiners and Harper and Rowan from the Wyatt family.
The Bludgeon Brothers.
Yes. The Street Profits defeat the New Age Outlaws and Primo and Carlito. The Hardy Boys defeat the APA and the World's Greatest Tag Team.
To retain the tag titles.
The Road Warriors defeat Eminem and the Club. The New Day defeat the Bar and the Brainbusters. And Demolition defeat the Viking Raiders and FTR.
Or the Revival,
Yeah.
as people know them.
The turmoil starts out with Demolition and the Road Warriors.
The originals and the copycats.
Yes. And these two, it's not that long. They're only in there maybe 5 minutes, I would say.
Hit the Doomsday Device.
Yeah. Road Warriors advanced and faced the Dudley Boys. This one, it goes a little longer, maybe 7-8 minutes.
But then in the end, they hit the 3D.
Dudley Boys
Hit the 3D.
advance. Then they go up against the Usos. This portion, Dudley Boys and Usos, is so fun. Might be I don't know if it'd be the best portion of the match.
I don't think it would be.
No,
Because
but
I already know.
I think it would still be a really good portion of the match for sure. 3D versus 1D.
And the 1D gets it.
Usos hit the
It
1D
and the Usos
on
splash.
Bubba. Usos splash. Usos advance and take on the New Day.
Specifically.
Big E
And Kofi. No, not Kofi.
and Xavier Woods.
This, I mean, if you watched their feud in 2017, you already know.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. It's the best segment. It's second best segment of the match. Maybe
Yeah.
best. But we have the Usos actually going over.
Yeah. And advancing, taking on the Street Profits.
This is just crazy.
Yeah.
Jay and Montez just going at it. And then Jimmy and Angelo Dawkins, because they're the more powerhouses, I guess you would say.
Yeah. The Street Profits end up picking up that victory and advancing to the finals against the Hardy Boys, the tag team champions. And this is so fun. These two teams just back and forth constantly. The Street Profits end up picking up the victory.
Becoming the new World Tag Team
Yes.
Champions.
And proving that they can defeat literally anybody, that they should be in the conversation as one of the best tag teams of all time.
Yeah. Next, a match that would be super excited for. The Women's World Title match. Who's walking in as champion?
Beth Phoenix is walking in as champion
Defending.
against Rhea Ripley and Chyna in a triple threat match.
Just the... Oh, God, that'd be so good.
So how this works is that we pull the Royal Rumble 1994 finish in effect here. Rhea and Chyna both get eliminated at the same exact time. They're the final two in the Women's Royal Rumble. They get eliminated at the exact same time, which leads to this triple threat match right here at WrestleMania. Beth Phoenix walks in as champion.
This would just be a hard-hitting match. They just...
Oh, definitely.
Like, Beth would just...
Just all the muscle.
Literally all the muscle. It'd be crazy. And yes, the winner is predictable. If you know anything about me, it's predictable. But we have Rhea Ripley winning. She pins Beth. Look,
Yeah.
should Rhea win? You could argue not, but I don't care. I don't. I'll admit I don't care. I think Rhea... Yeah, it would just be so good.
Yeah. Up next, so we go from a triple threat match to a fatal four-way match back to back.
I know, so many multi-man matches, but you have to remember, a lot of people.
Yeah, it's our fantasy card. Dang it, we can do what we want. United States title on the line. Harley Race walks in as champion, and he defends against William Regal, Cesaro, and Sheamus.
We don't set the bar.
We are the bar. So Harley Race and William Regal are already in a feud with each other. They've been feuding for 2 or 3 months. Sheamus and Cesaro, as we stated earlier, they're in a qualifying match for the tag team titles. But they lose. They lose because Cesaro got pinned. That pisses off Sheamus. Sheamus turns heel. He turns on Cesaro. While he's a heel, he demands, and full on just demands, to be in the U.S. title match against Harley Race and William Regal. So Triple H decides to put him in. But Cesaro wants his revenge on Sheamus for turning on him. So Triple H throws Cesaro in that match too, and we get this fatal four-way. And
Just look at the guys involved.
Yeah.
This is going to be not a kind of stiff match. They're just going to hurt each other and be kind of technical at the same time. It's really weird. Oh, yeah. I know we barely mentioned Regal and Race, but they're no fucking slouches. They bring the fight.
Oh, definitely.
Especially, like, Race, who would be just the old vet, just proving that he can fucking go still.
Yep, for sure. And we ended up having Cesaro pick up the victory and becoming the new United States champion. Which I know a lot of you may not expect, but
everyone likes Cesaro, though.
Yeah, it's awesome. Up next, match number 4 on night 2. Triple H versus AJ Styles. This is a match where I feel like it almost would have happened if Triple H didn't have to have his heart surgery. It probably would have happened. But it didn't, so we're putting it here. The storyline is that AJ goes on a losing streak for months. Literally months, like 3, 4, 5 months.
Probably since the Rumble.
Yeah, he loses every single match that he's in. Literally every match, including house shows. Just every match he's in. And he's so angry, he blames it all on Triple H. And Triple H is trying to be like, no, you just have no luck. You just can't win. It's all on you. It's not me. Yeah, I booked the matches, but it's you. You haven't done anything to prove to me that recently that you deserve to win. So AJ's like, fine, I challenge you to a match at WrestleMania. Triple H is like, deal. So we get this match. And it's a good match back and forth. AJ picks up the victory.
They bring the fight.
Yeah, they do.
They pull out every little trick they can to win.
Triple H teases using a sledgehammer, but ends up the referee stops him. Like, no, you can't use that in this match. Triple H is like, I'm in charge here, damn it, I can do what I want.
Ref takes the sledgehammer. Styles hits a low blow. Hits the Styles Clash.
Yeah.
Picks up the win.
Yep, 1, 2, 3. AJ wins the match. This match would be fun if it happened.
Next.
Kind of sucks that it didn't, but... Up next, match 5, night 2.
The Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Becky Lynch versus Victoria.
So champ going in?
I think we had Becky Lynch as champ going in. The story here is that we have big time Bex. She just won the title, maybe like Elimination Chamber or something. There's no one on the roster that deserves to face her because everyone else is involved. Everyone else that deserves it is already involved in a match at WrestleMania. So what happens? Victoria returns. She's the one that challenges Becky to this match.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of where we go from here.
They just start fighting with each other.
Yeah.
They go really hard in this match. Like,
Yes, they do.
Becky she's a fighter. She's kind of like a Austin in a way, like she's a slugger.
Yeah.
And so is Victoria, so I can imagine this match getting a little messy. But we have Becky hitting a top rope. Well, not top rope, like elevated, we'll say. Elevated manhandle slam to beat Victoria and retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
Next. Ooh, the most interesting match.
Yes. A Firefly Funhouse match.
As Sting.
The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Sting. This was one of the hardest matches to kind of figure out a storyline for, because how the heck do you book a Firefly Funhouse match? Sting, we do some sort of like a Legends night, and Sting is out there cutting a promo. While he's cutting the promo, out of nowhere,
Lights go out.
Lights go out. The Fiend shows up, attacks Sting. Eventually, over time, the Wyatt Six get involved, and they're just all beating up Sting to the point where Sting wants a match against Bray Wyatt. Bray agrees, but Bray says it'll be under his terms. It'll be Firefly Funhouse.
Would Alexa be in there?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Because I forgot we didn't put her on the card.
Yeah, I forgot that too until just now. But yeah, and this
would be weird as shit.
It would be, because
they kind of do something similar to what they did for Sting's retirement match at that point.
Yeah,
because going back through his history,
we get Surfer Sting, we get Crow Sting, hell, we even get Joker Sting in this.
Because WWE and TNA, the Legend, are working together.
Yeah.
We
just see every era of Sting.
And then Wyatt just basically goes like, yeah, I don't even know what Bray would say, but I could just imagine it be like basically it'd just be like what they did for Cena. Basically.
Pretty much.
Also, yeah, so Bray Wyatt's winning.
Yeah.
The Fiend is winning.
Yep. Bray Wyatt wins.
Next.
The WWE Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair walks in as champion and defends against Alundra Blaze. The story here is simple. Alundra Blaze just wins the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
They're the two most popular women. Are they the two most popular women of each of their generation, you would say?
Probably.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Alundra Blaze wins the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
Because
that also involves Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, Wendy Richter, and Melina. Alundra somehow overcomes all of them and goes on to face Charlotte at WrestleMania.
This would be a really good match.
Yes, it would be.
The main crux is, does Alundra still have it in her? She's proven the odds, but this is Charlotte we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Can she beat the Queen?
Yep.
And she does.
Mm-hmm. Alundra picks up the victory, becomes the women's champion, throws the belt in the trash, brings back the old women's title that she originally had thrown in the trash, and holds that title as her title during her reign. Up next, match number 8. We have a match that's surprisingly never happened.
It kind of did.
It kind of did, but not one-on-one.
The
Legend Killer. Randy
Orton. It's modern Randy Orton, but he'll go back.
Versus The Rock.
A legend he never really got to take out, did he?
No. This all starts inside the Elimination Chamber, because as I stated before, both of these men are in the chamber match. Randy Orton punched The Rock in the head during the chamber match, and Orton eliminates The Rock. That pisses off The Rock, and it leads to
Final boss.
It leads to The Rock being the final boss, being a heel, and challenging Randy Orton to a match at WrestleMania. And we get a throwback. We get Legend Killer Randy Orton, but like a modern day version of the Legend Killer. If that makes any sense.
It's like a mix of like all of Randy Orton combined. Like Legend Killer, Modern Orton, and 2009 Orton specifically. 2000,
Yeah.
You know which Orton I'm talking about. The pissed off, I will punch everyone in the goddamn head Orton.
Yep.
Yeah, Orton counters a rock bottom into an RKO, thinks about pinning the Rock, then starts backing up, goes in the corner, lets the Rock's on his hands and knees, and then does what he's going to do to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania this year.
Punch him in the head.
Square in his bald bitch ass head. Orton picks up the victory. It's glorious.
Glorious.
Oh, and I know exactly where... Also, I know where this Mania would take place. There's only one place this Mania could take place. Madison Square Garden.
Yep. It's not a big stadium show.
But damn, it's important.
Yeah.
The semi-main.
Semi-main. Match number 9.
A Hell in a Cell match.
So, when it comes to WrestleMania, Fantasy Manias, we can't do a Fantasy Mania without having The Undertaker
However,
on the card.
We had no idea who to pick for the
Undertaker. We had tons of ideas. We had Undertaker. I think at one point we had Undertaker Macho Man.
Undertaker Sting.
Undertaker Sting.
Undertaker Hogan.
Yeah, we had so many different ideas.
But then we realized, who's a modern guy, who's on the card, who would be a great foil to Taker? Who has been, if you notice throughout this video, always wanting that Mania match. He was the runner-up in the Rumble. Runner-up in the Chamber. Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Scottish, mainly modern Drew.
Hell in a Cell.
Because Drew is going to be a gigantic douchebag in this entire feud. Just hypocritical dirtbag. And he's just shitting all of Undertaker's legacy, calling him out for every little mistake he's ever fucking made. Taker's having none of it and just wet. It gets to a point where Drew attacks Michelle.
Yeah.
Like, Drew is just fucking not stopping. Hell in a Cell. I know you can't do a Hell in a Cell for them, but like, it's fucking WrestleMania. We can do whatever we want. This match is going to be bloody. It's going to be brutal. And we are actually having Drew beat Taker.
Because at this point, the streak had already ended, so, like, Drew's not ending the streak.
And Drew would deserve it. He's a big guy. He's a believable guy.
Yes.
That could have ended the streak, realistically. Like, if the streak lasted till, like, 20... Like, or, a couple years ago. Maybe 2020. Maybe. I could have seen that Drew beat The Undertaker.
Oh, definitely.
Are you kidding me? God damn, yeah. Drew beats Undertaker, but just wails on him. Just relentlessly. Like, multiple claymores, steel chair to the fucking dome. Just always has something for Undertaker's offense. Kind of like how Edge did for Mania 24.
Yeah.
Always had an answer. He got hit with the last try. He got hit with the tombstone, chokeslam, all that.
Multiple tombstones.
But Drew always found a way to get out of it.
Yeah.
He only kicked out of one tombstone, but he got out of others.
Yeah.
But yeah, now...
The main event.
Of night 2.
The WWE Championship.
Who are the two biggest guys we have yet to mention?
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus John Cena. Stone Cold walks in as champ. As I stated earlier, John Cena wins the Royal Rumble. challenges Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Would it be face Austin versus heel Rock? I mean, not heel Rock. Face Austin versus heel Cena?
I almost kind of think it should be switched.
Heel Austin versus face Cena?
Yeah, because John Cena he's been a babyface up until recently, babyface for over 20 plus years. Stone Cold wasn't even a wrestler for that long. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, this just shows, like, who really is the greatest of all time. Because if you ask fans, the IWC, anyone, if you ask them who their personal favorite of all time is, a lot of them will have Stone Cold Steve Austin, top 3. For sure, top 3.
And John Cena. Like, Austin is the best of his era. Cena's the best of multiple eras.
Yes. And according to WWE, Michael Cole in particular on commentary calls John Cena the greatest of all time. So he's here to prove it. Prove that he's the greatest of all time by beating the man that most people will say is the greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time and maybe the greatest era of all time.
Yes.
And this is just a slugfest.
It is.
Like, Cena 2007 slugfest. Like, his match with Michaels where he got real, not dirty, but, like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, just those fucking clotheslines decapitating Austin.
Yep.
Getting that, trying to get that STF in. Mm-hmm. Just cranking it like he did against Shawn. And then Austin's basically just doing his Mania X7 shtick, but not as a heel. Just slugging him, just keep stomping into Cena. Not letting Cena trying not to let Cena get anything leverage.
Yep. But somehow, John Cena overcomes all of that.
Barely.
Hits a couple of attitude adjustments.
Hits an avalanche attitude adjustment. Yep. And just doesn't even, like, immediately cover him. Just crawls for it.
Yeah.
Like, how often do you see Cena,
he crawls for it, does a one-arm pin.
Like how Brock did for Mania 19?
Yes. John Cena picks up the victory, becomes a 17-time world champion. 18-time world champion.
Because, he's probably winning this year.
Proves that he is the greatest of all time.
And that's
great way to close out.
I know Cena wins law, but like
fantasy WrestleMania. Yeah, Super Cena. So what?
But yeah, guys, we did it.
If you want this to be a regular thing,
I have another fun one.
I'd be happy to do it again.
Dream WWE AEW or Dream WWE XTNA.
Yeah, maybe for like Forbidden Door, or like in a build up to AEW Forbidden Door, we can maybe do like an AEW WWE fantasy card.
Let's keep it less people this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the big ones. Maybe if we decide to do this for Mania again next year, we'll do another big one, maybe like 20 matches again. But otherwise, they'll be smaller. Maybe SummerSlam will maybe come up with something. I had fun. These last almost 6 months doing this has been fun.
So, what do we got planned for the rest until Mania?
So, we will have... So, a couple days ago, he posted the best matches.
From 21 to 40, which is a continuation of 2 other videos I done.
We will also, at some point, be doing the worst Mania matches of all time.
Oh, my God.
Which I will most likely be filming, which kind of sucks. But I will be doing that. We also have another video that we filmed weeks ago, probably almost a month ago at this point, of our, our most underrated and overrated WrestleMania matches that we will be uploading.
I need to upload that yet. Chief.
Yeah, because we filmed that like over a month ago.
I'll do that next week.
And then the week of Mania, we will be each posting our WrestleMania 41 predictions. The week after WrestleMania, we'll do the same thing we did last year and post our WrestleMania 41 review. And then that's when we will start coming back with the weekly reviews again.
Can you believe that Mania review has almost 100 views now?
Yeah.
That was a good review. Even though I dropped pizza on the floor.
You did. And you spilled your root beer too.
Mania's crazy, man. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We had fun with this.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you like this? Do you like this card? If there's any changes, let us know. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys more awesome wrestling content. The road to WrestleMania is just beginning. Let's see where it takes us.
See you next time. Stop it.
Alright.
Botch.
Ah.
We